Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Red Elevator. I'm Nina Takesh. This is the Red Elevator, and today we are going to talk about carpeting. I get more questions about carpet sizes, what type of carpets to use, than any other question. So today I'm going to break it down for you. Follow me. So every day I feel like I get a DM or a message from someone asking me what size rug or what kind of carpet they should get. So before we get into exactly what the rules are for carpets and rugs and area rugs and wall-to-wall coverings, etc., I'm going to talk about why rugs are important in interior design. And the reason they are important is that they literally frame the space of the room. Acoustics is very important in room design. Notice when you go to a very loud restaurant how annoying it is because they haven't thought about the acoustics. Rugs really help with the echoing of the sounds in a room. The third important reason why rugs are critical in interior design is that they define areas. If you have a very large room and just a basic rectangle, you can create these very intimate spaces. This is what I love to do more than anything, is to have perhaps a round rug with round seating or a rectangle next to a round rug, so it defines the space in a room. Take a look at this particular photo. You will see how these beige, beautiful club chairs are basically floating on this round cream rug. This allows you to define this corner. In order to achieve a monochromatic look, another reason why designers use rugs is to really enforce this monochromatic look. If you look at the photo here, which is all lavender, you will see the rug is lavender, the walls are lavender, the chairs are upholstered in a lavender velour. And so this is really a great way to be able to achieve that by really emphasizing color. In this next photo, you will see a contrasting chocolate rug with different pieces of chairs in the sitting area. This also allows you to be a little bit playful. You have a round rug, and again, your space is basically defined by the fact that you have this rug. Imagine if the rug were not in this room and you had these random pieces of furniture. It would not look cohesive. So for those of you who wonder whether you should use a rug or not, my take is always yes, yes, yes. If you have hardwood floors or if you have any kind of flooring that allows you to have rugs, I would definitely use them. Wall-to-wall coverings, wall-to-wall carpet is another form of floor covering and carpeting. And a lot of people ask me whether I prefer area rugs or if I like wall-to-wall. And I'll tell you, they have different functions. Wall-to-wall covering, to me, looks great in certain spaces. For instance, in a movie theater room, okay, none of us, I don't even have a movie theater, but there are certain people that, and there are certain instances, as an example, where wall-to-wall is critical, and that would be one of them. Another one would be a bedroom. In primary bedrooms, the use of wall-to-wall carpeting is more prevalent. My vote is to do an area rug in a master, or I should say primary room. The reason I prefer area rugs in the primary room is that it will allow you to change things up in the future, which you certainly can't do with wall-to-wall carpeting. However, the con is it's not as cozy. A lot of people want that cozy, comfy feeling when they walk at night from their bedrooms to the bathroom and vice versa, and they just don't want to be bothered with what would be walking on a cold surface or on hardwood floors. Another important aspect of wall-to-wall covering that you guys need to keep in mind is that wall-to-wall covering, for those who have allergies, is almost deadly. It attracts a lot more dust. It's a lot more difficult to be allergen-free. So if you've got allergies, you know you can't do carpets. The other con with wall-to-wall covering is that you can get bacteria and moisture in the rug and not even realize and start to create mold. So all in all, even though it's more economical, I vote, if you can, to try and stay away from wall-to-wall covering unless it's in a very specific room where you actually need it. Here is the most valuable part of this video, so I don't want you guys to miss it. Before I get into that, I wanted to ask you, please, 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 to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. There are a lot of advantages to subscribing. I will be doing a lot of giveaways actually starting in the new year in 2022, and I want to make sure that you guys are getting the alerts to watch the segments. I'm going to show you a diagram that is going to really sort of demystify area rug and rug sizes. First and foremost, area rugs come in standard sizes. What are these sizes? You guys have heard of them. 3x5, 5x8, 8x10, 9x11, and 12x15. We're going to focus on this particular diagram for a moment. And the reason is that I want you guys to be able to visualize what to do and what not to do. And this is very important. On the left, you will see a living room that is sitting on a rug that's either a 10x14 or 9x12. All the legs and all the pieces of the furniture are on the rug. That looks great, and that is actually preferable. In certain instances, when budget is of concern and you need to get a slightly smaller rug, which happens, or you happen to have inherited a beautiful rug, which is a little bit smaller, as long as the front legs of each piece of furniture is on the rug, you are A-OK. Whatever you do, do not do this. Do not put a rug under just a piece of furniture and have all the other pieces off. This is the big no-no. Talking about dining rooms, the concept is the same. If you can, either do a rectangular rug, a round rug, have all the pieces on the rug, and make sure that when you pull the chairs out, that the chairs are equally on the rug. Now, if it's slightly smaller, you have a problem, especially in dining rooms. You do not want one leg on, one leg off. And the reason is that you will be constantly fighting with the legs of the chair, and it just honestly does not look good. So although in a living room, you're able to keep one leg off, you are not able to do this in a dining room. This is why I wanted to show you guys this diagram, and this is why we are focusing on this today. Now we're going to talk about layout, all the ways to lay out your living room rug. Your living room rug can either go vertical or horizontal. There are no rules about that. The best way to decide whether you want to go vertical or horizontal is the shape of the room. However, there is no hard and fast rule with regard to which direction the rug goes. I would use the longer width of the rug against the longer side of the room. Layering rugs is also a very fun thing to do. You can layer a couple rugs on top of one another. The sculptural float is one of my favorite. That's when you can bring in a cowhide and pop it in and be able to create a beautiful sculptural area. A new form of rugs are emerging, and many of you have already heard about them, but perhaps you haven't, and that's called tile rugs. You've seen this in different big box stores like IKEA, I know has carpet rug tiles. And essentially what it is that instead of buying an entirely large piece of carpet, you buy hexagons or squares or even herringbone, and then you sort of assemble these pieces together. There is a lot of good in being able to use this, because if you pour a hot cup of coffee or jam or mustard on a piece of rug that never is going to come out, if you've got rug tiles, basically you just take those pieces out and use them. I'm going to give you a couple examples in the description box of companies that have rug tiles that are pleasing to the eye. Previously, they weren't that aesthetically pleasing, and now I believe that this is something that's going to be progressively getting better and better on the market, and very much an economical way to use rugs. Another frequently asked question I get that many of us stump upon, even as designers, is what cleans easily and what doesn't clean easily. And I'm here to tell you, without a shadow of a doubt, how this works. If you have synthetic materials, which means man-made materials, such as faux this or faux that, such as faux silk, just because the word silk is in there doesn't mean it's silk. Anything synthetic will stain and is going to be very difficult to remove. Therefore, if you do not want stains, or you want to be able to remove stains easily or somewhat easily, you have to use earth-made products, meaning wool, or real silk, real materials will clean. However, synthetics, because of the way that they're produced and manufactured, and they are chemicals, we know for a fact that they are going to be very difficult to clean. Another question is loop versus cut. Many people don't understand what that means, and I'm here to explain what it is. It's very simple. Essentially, a cut pile is a sheared rug. The ends are exposed, and a loop pile is literally a loop of a rug that looks more like, you know, what would be a shrimp. What is the difference? The difference is a cut pile is usually cheaper because it's sheared, it's easier to manufacture, but a loop pile is more durable because of the fact that the tips are not exposed and will last longer. Durability is important and price is important. So if you could find a looped rug, that is definitely better. Pile height refers to the height of the rug. Is it a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 1 inch? Typically, you want something plush, at least I know I do in certain instances. Actually, in most instances, I like a loop cut that is plush. If I can get a 1/2 inch, that is the way to go. Believe it or not, cut and loop are a combination that you can get in one rug. Parts of the rug can be looped, parts of the rug can be cut. This creates different texture when the rug is the same color. This was very hot in the 70s and 80s, and now it is making another comeback. Last thing I wanted to touch upon, which is fairly important, is rugs on the staircase. Again, something that people ask me quite a bit about and how to do it. I personally prefer Waterfall, and what Waterfall is, as you can see in these photos, it just looks like the carpet, if it were liquid, was just falling on the stairs. It is just a very clean, sort of mitered edge, and of course your staircase does dictate this. If you have a bull-nosed edge that protrudes out, then you are going to do a Hollywood rug. Hollywood rug wraps around the bullnose and brings your carpet down. If you guys enjoyed this very thorough segment on rugs and carpeting and want to see more deep dives, I would say this is a deep dive into carpeting. Let me know below and I will be happy to do another deep dive. If there's this particular subject you're interested in, again, let me know because that is very, very helpful. Another question that comes up is why are some rugs $500 and others $100,000? And I will be honest with you, and the reason really is whether there is a discerning value in your rug. If you have an antique rug, if you have a Persian rug, we won't get into what Persian rugs are, but they are all basically handmade, and handmade rugs are going to be far more expensive than machine-made rugs. So if you're trying to get value, go ahead and get a machine-made rug. Another component that dictates the value of a rug is knots per square inch. The more knots per square inch, the higher the value of the rug. Some rugs are made by hand and can take years in the formation, and therefore they're going to be a lot more expensive. The very last consideration to what would be a completely high-end beautiful rug is whether it's made of silk. Silk rugs are by far the top echelon of rugs. If you have a silk rug, you are happy. Why? Because it can be cleaned, because it's a natural material. 2, it's gorgeous, it's soft, and additionally, when you look at it from one direction versus a different direction, it actually changes color. So really the creme de la creme of rugs is a silk rug. Thank you for joining me on this episode of The Red Elevator. I am here to provide as much value as I can for all of your decorating needs. I had a lot of fun today with you guys. Let me know where else you want me to do a deep dive, what areas of your home you are interested in redecorating, and I can't wait to see you guys again here on The Red Elevator next week.